Thank you. As you keep coming in, please to introduce yourselves in the chat. And again, I welcome you all. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever in the world you are. And I know some of you from where you are. So welcome you all for this yet another masterclass. This is a learning session brought to you, as I said, by the Coach Support Group, Community of Practice of the ICF Mumbai Charter Chapter. And we have in our hosting team myself, Gayatri. I lead the COP and I'm going to be your host today. We also have Nandini. Maybe you can raise your hand, Nandini. I don't know if I can spotlight you in such a hurry. So Nandini is the virtual assistant to the chapter and she would be managing the Zoom room today. And we also have Tushima, who is our charter chapter's president. And she is also going to be curating and watching the chat box and curating the question answers at the later part of the session. So welcome you all again. Thank you for being here. And before I go about introducing Anna, I have some hygiene pointers for you. Please do keep your mics off through the webinar until we open it out for the Q&A or the open house later in the evening. This would be to avoid any inadvertent disruption in the session. During the session, if you have any burning questions, please put it in the chat box or raise your hand. Tushima or Nandini will pick it up and curate them and either open it up to Anna there and there, or maybe put it up for later in the Q&A segment. For those of you who wish to claim the CCEUs for this session, we will be posting a link to a Google form in the chat box sometime before the end of the session, maybe just before the Q&A. Please do use that link, enter your full name as you would like it to appear in your certificate, and you shall be receiving your certificates within 5 days from today. We also invite you to stay on for the last 15 minutes of the session, which is Q&A and networking with the folks who are here in the room today. And last but not the least, just before we open up to the Q&A, I would formally request you all to come in on your video, even if you are choosing to keep your videos off, for a quick photo session. I shall prompt you to turn your camera on and we shall do a quick photo session. As part of the experience Anna is trying to create today, you will be part of a breakout room. Each one of you, so you will be in pairs in a breakout room. Each one of you shall be automatically assigned to the breakout room. The breakout room would be for 10 minutes and you will be automatically brought back to the main room once the 10 minutes have passed by. You may not be able to leave the room in between. If you do so, you would leave actually the conference itself. So hang in there even if you are done earlier than the 10 minutes. Okay? So folks, again, I welcome you to this learning engagement brought to you by the COP Coach Support Group of ICF Mumbai Charter Chapter. As you all know, the much awaited topic for today is from solopreneur coach to coaching business owner, the blueprint to launching a thriving coaching business. Today's learning goals, you will be able to identify your default mindset that is shaping your identity as a coach, and you will understand the key principles behind building a strong and sustainable coaching business. And we have Anna Tan, who is our facilitator for today. She is the CEO and founder of Coaching Go Where, a Singapore-based company working globally, a multi-award winning boutique transformational leadership development and executive coaching company. She helps leaders accomplish extraordinary results, outclassing the competition and reinventing industries. Blending neuroscience, NLP, and social psychology gives her and her colleagues and co-founders a rich set of tools and techniques, and when combined, provides a unique approach, allowing their clients to succeed first time. Proven in the field, they're going to show us how to shift mindsets to the desired behavioral changes, and the changes are sustainable, whilst having a positive and meaningful impact in the business of their clients. A fun fact about Anna, she is a tech geek and spends her spare time playing with new and emerging technologies, for example, generative AI. She loves being an early adopter and will often enthuse her friends to join her on the journey new tech exploration. She designed, developed, and maintains her company's website. Anna, without much ado, I hand it over to you. Thank you for being so kind to accepting to do this and share your wisdom with our set of coaches here. All yours.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So let me just share, I'm going to share some slides and share some stories. So today we're going to talk about how do you move from being a sole entrepreneur to running your own business. And so I've been running Coaching Go Where in Singapore for the past over 8 years. So you could probably tell by my accent, or maybe you can't. I'm actually from the UK originally. I moved to Singapore. I came to Singapore on a 4-month contract 13 years ago, and I haven't left. I love Singapore. And so if you've been to the UK and people ask me, why did I come to Singapore? I often say, a better question is, why did I stay? And usually I'll say it's because of the weather and the food. So I'm delighted to spend the next hour and a half with you, just sharing some of our experience, our lessons, and some of our business secrets that I'm going to share with you as to how we made it work and some of the mistakes we made along the way, so what not to do. So that's me. A couple of things to note, because as I'm showing you some of the content, also become really quite aware, because I'm going to talk about this later, it's all about personal branding. And as you're looking at yourselves and looking at what image you're going to portray to your clients, the stronger your personal image, the higher the amount you can charge. Okay, so that's going to be one fact. You'll also see from this particular slide, I've got a lot of awards, and I'll talk about why that is important later. So in terms of the agenda, I'm going to show you a 9-step matrix. We're not going to go through 9 steps today because we haven't got much time. So we're going to do a quick poll just to see where are the biggest challenges, and then we'll spotlight those. We'll also talk about what is the difference in terms of the mindset of a business owner versus a sole entrepreneur versus a consultant and so forth. So we'll touch on that. And then we'll also have a breakout session, even for 10 minutes, just for you to have a conversation with one of your peers. And after that, we'll do a debrief and then a Q&A. So the first question we're going to ask you actually is, what is your biggest challenge at the moment in creating a coaching business? So we're going to launch a poll.
We're going to launch a poll, so please do respond on the poll.
What is your biggest challenge at the moment, just so we know where to spotlight?
Are you all able to see the poll?
You can choose more than one. All right, so don't feel you can only choose one. You can choose as many as you like that are your challenges. So I'll wait until enough answers come through.
Mm-hmm. We have 59 out of 72 who have responded to the poll. Okay. So I'm going to just give a couple of more minutes before I close the poll and maybe share the results with you.
Okay. You can all be thinking, oh, I wonder what the top ones are. I wonder what the top ones are.
Yes, yes. We still have the answers coming in, so I'm going to keep a couple of more seconds on this. Okay, I think I'm going to just end the poll and
okay. Okay, so sales and marketing is the top one. Mm-hmm. Then we've got pricing and packaging, social proofing.
Yeah.
Coaching domain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I know now to talk a little bit more about pricing, packaging, sales and marketing. Fantastic. Let me just show you first what the 9 dimensions are. because you need all 9. You need all 9. And I'm going to talk to you about the different parts of this. There's 3 parts to a successful coaching business, and I'm talking purely from experience. The first is getting your business structure right. And
Anna,
just very, yeah.
sorry, before that, if I may just invite the audience to see, do you find something missing in this? In this slide? Is there anything that, and if you don't catch anything missing, I'm going to ask Anna to move a slide, then you know what you missed. Go ahead, Anna.
Ah, clever, very clever.
Go ahead, Anna.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what is missing?
What was missing?
Yeah.
Anybody? Yes, Shripad, you will get the PPT. Anybody, what was missing?
Okay, we have some responses. Well, one response in the chat box, networking. What else?
Logo.
So just go up
Logo,
one slide,
okay.
Anna, so they can see the contrast. Go up one slide and you will see what was missing.
Yes.
Yeah. This piece where we talk about what the impact is, what is it that you're going to create by even offering this 9 metrics framework. Likewise, a sampler, which is out there at the bottom, where you could just, call into somebody and ask for tips or guidance around what's your struggle. Now, if you notice in the earlier slide, that wasn't missing, and that's part of what helps you create your distinction. Yes, Anna, go ahead.
Thank you. Very good. Very good. So there's a few things to really understand in terms of a business, because the business isn't just one thing out of the 9. It's the synergy of what the whole 9 thing brings. And something to be quite aware of, firstly, if we just look over the whole entire matrix, it's your ability to sell the result. You're not selling the process. So that's the first distinction. People don't buy the process, they're buying a result. The second distinction is people are looking for a result that to a pain they have. People want to buy a painkiller. And if you can give them a painkiller, the bigger the pain, the more they'll pay. They're not looking for a vitamin. Okay? So the bigger the pain, the more they'll pay. If you can focus on the result that they need and talk their language, then they'll feel that you are for them. So when you're looking at how do you position your company, you have to really get very clear in terms of the coaching domain and the expertise framework. People are not looking for a generalist. And if they are, they won't pay a lot for a generalist. It's the same as going to a doctor versus going to a surgeon. You want to be very precise in what it is that you can do for your clients. So become very specific. In becoming really specific, you also need to be able to be credible. So you need to prove that you can do it. In the credibility, I'll give you a very simple example. If you're going to be a health coach, but you smoke, that's not looking very credible. All right. If you're going to be a parenting coach and you've got no kids, that's not credible. So it needs to be something that people think is obvious that you do it and you are the best because I'm paying for the best. And so become really aware of the language you use when you're positioning yourself and offering your service. The offer of your service can't be, I will try to give you that result. I'll try my best. I think I can help you. And then someone says, for confirm, I will guarantee you the result. Who are you going to choose? Someone that tries and hopes that they can, or someone that will guarantee? Okay, so that's the first thing to be aware. Get really clear who you are serving, that you have concrete expertise that you can deliver on. The business structure, just very quickly, make sure you've got the right business structure. What do I mean? All of our clients are big corporate companies, from Google to Boston Consulting to HSBC banks and so forth. They want to deal with another company. All right, so we're set up as a private limited, and you also want to set up as a private limited to protect yourself in terms of liability. Because if something goes wrong, the company gets sued, not you personally. And if you don't protect yourself and you get sued, that's it, you've lost your house. Got it? So you do need to set up a business entity if you want to work with the really big corporates, because they need to see that you can scale and that you can meet their growing demand. If you're just looking to do small scale one-to-one personal coaching, then you might not need that structure. However, you want to still be aware of liabilities. So that's very quickly business structure. Online tools and platforms. When you grow your business, you need to automate as many things as you can, because in understanding that your time is finite, you want to stop spending your time on the small things that you can get a VA to do for you, or that you can use something like Calendly or Calendly or whatever. Some of these tools, they'll automate all your scheduling for you. They'll automate all the reminders for you. So do become aware, how can you get rid of all the small admin tasks so your time is spent much more growing the business or doing delivery, not on admin. So that's the business structure, getting that right. In terms of the sales and marketing, and I saw that most people, this is where some of the challenges are. In terms of pricing and packaging, so people don't buy 10 coaching sessions. Do not sell your coaching by the hour, because everyone's going to be watching the time and think, did you give me value for 1 hour? That's not how you want to position yourself. Create a program with a strong result that resolves a big pain point. And in terms of creating this package, you want to show them through creating this package, what is the journey? So even the illustration of me showing you this 9-step matrix, it's a 9-step program. Your coaching program wants to look the same. There's 3 phases, and in 3 phases, there are 3 steps. And in these 3 steps, these are the things you'll get out of it. And this is why they are important in your journey. Got it? And so the clearer you can create a package, it's easier to sell and it's easier to buy. Because if people are confused, they're going to say no to you. So you want to get it really crystal clear. What you also want to get crystal clear is in terms of pricing. So this is understanding your pricing model. The psychology of pricing. We give more than one pricing option. Because if you only give one pricing option, it's a simple yes or no. All the research shows that when you have 2 pricing or even 3, people are more likely to say yes to one of the pricing options. So have more than one pricing option and more than one product that you're selling. Are you with me so far? Each of these steps need to look really logical and rational. And each step, you're positioning it as a benefit. What is the outcome? What is the benefit against a pain point? So that's pricing and packaging. The other tip about packaging is you call the program the result. I'll say this again. You call the program the result. So I'll give you a couple of examples. One of the coaching programs that we sell is called Be Unlimited. Because by the end of it, you're unlimited and you can be unlimited. There's so many ways of playing with words. Our leadership coaching program is called Inspire, so that they can become inspirational leaders. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
So make sure it's the result of the name. Okay, so that's the next one. In terms of sales and closing blueprint, the kind of sales cycle, depending on who you're selling to. If you're selling to a corporate, the sales cycle is really, really long. It can sometimes be as much as 9 months to even a year. So it's a really long cycle. The quickest sales cycle is with an individual because the money's in their pocket and they'll just want to pay for it. Typically, a company will pay more. So with all of our coaching programs to a company is typically 2 or 3 times what an individual will privately pay for us, because they don't have as much money as $1 billion company. But what you also want to do with your sales and closing is often you might need to offer a small sell for them to trust you before you do a big sell. So with a company, it's often easier to maybe sell a half-day workshop or a taster in coaching or something, rather than a big package for them to try you out before they invest tens of thousands of dollars for your services. So you want to actually have a series of products of different sizes. With sales and closing, you really need to make sure you have all your agreements. So make sure you've got your agreements, your clauses, your terms, your conditions, your cancellation policy, your refund policy, your confidentiality, your NDAs. You're also going to need what we do. We've got a coaching agreement, and then we've got the contract agreement. Now, the coaching agreement is with the coachee, where you talk about that they do, coaching is where the result is dependent on them type agreement, versus the contract with the company is around terms of when they're going to pay you, can they cancel it, can they rebook. So make sure you've got all of that ready for them to sign. Now, number 6 and number 7, these are your $1 million sales people. Now, what's quite interesting with testimonials and social proofing is we all go to websites such as TripAdvisor. In Singapore, they used to have something called Hungry Go Where. You've got Google reviews, yeah? You've got LinkedIn. People trust other people more than they trust you in terms of reviews. What do I mean by this? When a hotel says we're the best, you're thinking, yeah, of course you're going to say you're the best. But when loads of other people say you're the best, then everyone's going to think, oh, you're the best. Oh, all of these people say you're good and they're independent. And so the more testimonials and reviews or other ways of social proofing is all those awards I showed you. If you can also have you've been featured in newspapers, you've been featured in magazines, you're doing these type of talks. Where else is there evidence that other people say you're good? That is pivotal, and that will make you stand out of the crowd of a very crowded market. If you don't have that, go get there as quick as you can. And ideally, you want those reviews on LinkedIn, or you want a video, because anyone can just write. You can just make it up on your website and everyone knows half of them are just made up, If you can have it on the third-party site and it links to someone's profile, and that person that gave you the review has high credibility or high status, by default, their credibility will wash and transfer to you. Now, if you don't have any reviews at the moment, then I suggest you, as a new coach, and you're trying to have a new business, then I highly suggest you create your program and you get a group of people. Don't do it for free, but do it for a low amount. Don't do it for free because they won't get the change. Do it for a low amount. Tell them why you're doing it for a low amount. Charge them maybe 50%, and then say to them, I'm charging you a lower amount on the basis that you succeed and get the result you want. You give me a video testimonial and a testimonial on LinkedIn and a testimonial on Google reviews. All right? This is how you're going to build up your credibility. They also give you permission to do a little short case study. And now you're off, because people want to buy from people that other people are getting success from. So that's testimonial and that's social proofing. In terms of client management strategy, this is all about account management. So people will buy from people they like. So as a company, for ourselves, one thing that we really practice is we want to be easy. We want it to be easy to do business with us. Let me repeat that. Be really easy to do business with. If you're a pain in the backside, they can go to someone else and they're not coming back to you. Where we can flex, we flex without them taking advantage. So when people ask us for a discount, our response is, yes, we can do that on the basis that we either take something out of the package or in return for a testimonial on video, on LinkedIn, on Google reviews. So if you're going to give a discount, get something back for it. Don't just give a discount because now you just devalued your service. 90% of our business is referrals and they're repeat customers. If you have really strong client relationships and client management, number one, you have to keep over delivering. The more you over deliver, the more happy they are, the more easy you are to do business with. They're going to start recommending you to all of their friends because people talk to people. If you do a terrible job, they'll tell their friends. Don't do a terrible job. If they're going to complain, if nothing else, give them back their money. It's not worth the bad reputation and someone trolling you on the web and just telling everybody how terrible you are. It's not worth those few dollars. Give them back their money and with a nice smile and a thank you. It really is not worth your future business. Now, the next one, in terms of your delivery framework, you then can also choose, do you want to do it only online? So over COVID, all of our coaching was online and we delivered coaching all over globally, all over APAC, Europe, a couple of times in the US because the time zone's a bit tricky. Decide how you're going to deliver the work. Even now when COVID's down, we still have international clients, we do it online. But within Singapore, more and more people now want it face-to-face. So be really clear, are you going to have a distinction of costs for face-to-face versus if it's online? So I want to just show you a couple of examples in terms of how you're going to do some of this social proofing. With this particular website, when you have a website, make it as professional as you can. If you're not good at designing, pay the money because people will research you. All right, they're going to research you. They're going to go onto your website. They're going to go and look on your LinkedIn. They're going to look on your Facebook. They're going to double check. Are you who you say you are? So become really quite aware of the public profile you have depending on the work you do. So my Facebook, they don't have crazy pictures of me, looking drunk on the street. Don't do it. All right. If you're trying to be this really professional leadership coach doing CEOs, you got to look the part. When you get loads and loads of testimonials and you have really unique programs, put yourself in for awards. Go and get some awards. They really boost your credibility. So many companies have said to us, oh, all those awards, you must be really good. It's like, yes, because then they'll choose you over someone else. They're making all of these decisions. Also, what's quite interesting is, as you can see with our title, World-Class Leadership Transformation and Coaching, it needs to be top of line. What is it that you do? And it's really clear. So people won't come to us for health coaching. They won't come to us for wealth coaching. They won't, come to us for parenting coaching. If they come to us for it, we will tell them, we don't do it. We're going to refer you to someone that does. So be clear who you don't accept, because you want to be seen as an expert. If you're a partner with anybody, put the partnership up, because you want to also see that you have a bigger ecosystem than just one person.
Anna, there's a question.
Okay.
So there are a couple of questions actually. So when you spoke about the awards, I think you hit a nerve because there were a few questions and comments about awards. So what are the ethical or the right awards to go after? Because there are some awards which...
There's so many awards. There's so many awards. Yes, there's so many awards. It's up to you, because there's a lot of very credible ones, and there's loads that are not so credible ones. It's up to your own ethics.
Yeah, are there some...
There's a lot. That's what I'm saying. In terms of where you want to position your social proofing, it's not just awards. It's also, you need to complement it with, as I said, all the written reviews on LinkedIn, as well as all the video testimonials. And I was just about to show you the logos. When you're working with companies, people want to see that you're working with all the big companies. If you worked with the company, put the logo on your website. If you've been in any newspaper, you say, seen in this newspaper. It's all social proofing. And then when other big companies wonder, should I work with you, they'll see who your past clients are. And then make sure that these clients are happy to speak to your new clients. So if someone says, oh, can I talk to someone in Google? You can say, yes, talk to this person. Can I talk to someone in BD? Yes, absolutely, talk to this person. So that's all to do with social proofing. I'm going to pause there for a moment to see if there's any more questions before we go into a poll.
There was one last question on the awards. Would you be comfortable sharing the names of some of the awards which, according to you, are really highly credible? The ones which are really worth going after?
There's so many, because there's a lot of country awards. So for an example, you've got the International Trade Council Awards. Then you've got the local Singapore Business Awards. There's so many. You want to look at which ones that's either country specific or industry specific. So if you're a health coach, then go to one of the health magazines and put yourself in for one of the health magazine awards. If you're into parenting, go and find a parenting website of some sort that have a lot of followers, and they usually have awards. A lot of these big magazines will have awards. You might also want to consider if you want to be on the Forbes Coach Council. You have to apply to it, and it's really expensive. It's not free. It's very expensive. It's whether or not you think it's worth the exposure. And it's really only worth it if you're going to do a lot of writing to be worth getting all of the... You have to like writing. You submit your writing, and if they publish it, then you put that all over your social media.
Thanks. There are a couple of other questions that have come in. One is about testimonials. So, I think Rani's asked that sometimes when you're working with a corporate client, it's very difficult to get a testimonial from the client or from the corporate, from the sponsor. So how does one deal with that?
So so it's all about how you position it. So you've done a great delivery, and in doing the delivery, the way that we ask is like this. As you know, we run our own company. Would you mind? On the basis you told me that you loved the program, we would love to help other people in the same way. Would you mind sharing your experience? Just a few words. And if you like, I'm happy to draft something up for you. Now, in terms of the testimonials, write this down. You don't want it just to say, oh, Anna's really nice. No one wants to buy nice people. That's called having a friend. All right. It needs to be in this construct. I had this business challenge. Anna helped me with X equals this result. All right. So I had this business challenge. Anna helped me with X, which gave me this result. Because the whole purpose of the testimonials is going to help you with objection handling. And if someone has this same challenge and they read, oh, the senior leader from this big corporate had this challenge and Anna helped them and they're really happy. They're so happy they gave her a review. They'll think, oh, credibility. Boom, that's it. And then you put it in all your pitches. So in our pitches, we put reviews, testimonials from previous clients, and we'll say this is on LinkedIn, so it's very verifiable. Right. So we'll put the little link on our pitch, and they can click through to our LinkedIn and read it, and then see who this person really is.
Yeah. Great.
So do ask all your prior clients, and do it in the way I just shared.
What about writing on your expertise area, creating content?
Yeah. So we've got a huge blog site. And so once you've decided the area of expertise you have, so ours is leadership transformation through the lens of neuroscience, neurolinguistic programming, and social psychology. Everything we write about is in that domain. We also train coaches and we train leaders to be more coach-like and have coaching skills. So we also write about having a coaching mindset for leaders. Everything you want to continue to nurture your personal branding, not only in your delivery, but in all of your blogs, the programs. You're going to specialize. So we've got 3 flagship programs. And that's all you talk about.
Great, thanks. Yeah, I can see there are also a couple of comments about, how it's different in the Indian market, and there are some specific challenges like government agencies won't really allow you to post anything on social media and so on and so forth. Probably there can be more discussions on this when we go into the breakout rooms, and then we see what comes out towards the end of the session. Thanks.
Yeah, I know that with our government clients, we don't get anything from them. So that's that really, yeah. Can't get it from them. From our corporate clients, from our private clients, very happy. Okay.
So before we move on to the next segment, which is what is the mindset you're carrying, I'm going to just put up a poll. Just let us know, where are you in your coaching business at this moment? There comes the poll. You got to choose only one of the 3. So in case you think you are also a freelancer and a practitioner, you might just say that, okay, which one allows me to make more revenue, and choose that as the option rather than both. You've just kept it for the sake of simplicity, one answer only.
So just for clarity, you're a practitioner, so you work for someone else as an associate, or you're an in-house, or you're an employee. A freelancer is when you're working for yourself and there's only you. And a business owner is when it's you plus other people.
Okay, done with it. We have 65 respondents, so here is the result. About 70% are freelancers, 15% business owners, 15% practitioners.
Wonderful. Okay, and that takes us nicely into what is the mindset?
Yeah.
What is the mindset of a business owner? What is the difference? So me, myself, I'm going to just quickly share my journey. So I started off, actually my background is in change management, project program transformation. And I used to be an employee initially, and I did coaching as part of my work. When you're doing transformation, you have to coach the leaders. So it's part of my work as an employee. I then decided to be a freelancer, and I created a company, but I was the only person, and I would go on assignments. So they would send me on full-time assignments, and I would get a day rate. I then moved on from there to then create my own business. And at first, I was my own coach. So my day rate became my hourly rate. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. And then there was a point where how do you then grow from being just a coach? Because when you're just a coach, you're selling your time and you're selling it by the hour. True or not? It's true, isn't it? You're selling it by the hour, and you only have so many hours, which means you can only earn so much money depending on what you're paying. And at the same time, a lot of new coaches are spending a lot of time marketing themselves or trying to get new work. And so you're spending a lot of time just doing, trying to get a piece of work here and there. You spend a lot of time getting work, then you get some work, then you're busy delivering the work, and then your work's finished, and then you got to keep running around getting more new work. So in terms of the main mindset, in my experience, is as a business owner, you start to think strategically and you're thinking more long-term planning. We've started to create more products that can earn money without us, which is different from just selling your time. You're now creating products, so you're selling your experience, you're selling your intellectual property rights. And the way that you can sell that is to create self-sustaining courses, or you're also creating courses that other people can deliver for you, or you create courses that you can sell for other people to then sell on, so you can license them. So there's different ways of capitalizing on your products rather than you just doing a 10-session coaching. Now, this means that your whole mindset isn't just on the short-term gain. You're actually thinking more 2 or 3 year planning, and you're also going to have a bigger overview as to what's happening in the market. Where is the demand? Where is the demand? Where are you going to position yourself? And how are you going to let those people know that you have a service that they want? And so you're planning much more the long-term game of your marketing, your positioning, you're going out, you're networking, you're creating products that is more self-sustaining. Something else that we did that really differentiated us from the market was we created a load of videos that complement our coaching. And we give this as an added value to all our coaching clients. So suddenly they finish the coaching program with us, but these videos, they've got access for life. And these complement all the things that we touch on in their coaching. And a lot of these are kind of leadership tools, techniques, mindset shift, frameworks, all of that complement it. But this also means that they're also in your database. And so you want to look at how do you leverage current clients to become future clients? How do you offer them another product, or how do you make it easy for them to refer you because you're top of mind and they're being reminded that you're still around even though you finished the coaching with them. And so one of the key things of being a business owner is to have that longer term view with the perspective of you nurturing a relationship beyond the coaching assignment of 6 to 9 months. So I'm going to pause there for a moment. So this is where we can actually take you to your breakout groups for you to have perhaps more of a discussion about what inner barriers or obstacles are you facing, because there's a shift of identity from being a business owner to being a self-employed coach, and it is a huge mindset shift. And until you can shift that mindset, you're still just chasing a coaching assignment piecemeal rather than planning it. So we're going to drop you into breakout groups breakout pairs for 10 minutes. The first thing for both of you to talk about, just for 5 minutes, is understanding what are your inner barriers or obstacles you face in terms of your identity and upgrading it to becoming a business owner. And the second one is a reflection around how might you create your personal branding. So we've given you a sentence for you to perhaps play with in terms of how do you introduce yourself as a coach. So when you go to a networking event and they say, oh, Anna, what do you do? Don't just say, I'm a coach. It's like saying, oh, I'm a financial advisor. All right, they think, oh no, don't coach me, or oh, you're going to sell me your service. So typically a line that you might use is something like, I typically work with X, which is your target group. I typically work with women who are experiencing this issue, and I give them this result. So I typically work with this group of people experiencing this issue, and I give them this result. So that's another way of introducing yourself.
All right. So Nandini, are you ready to put everyone in breakout rooms?
Yes, I'm ready.
So to just reiterate, you have 10 minutes, 5 minutes on the inquiry of what is your internal barrier or obstacle that you're facing to move from being a solopreneur or a freelancer to being a coach business owner. And then the next 5 minutes on reflection of how would you want to restate your personal brand, starting with I typically.
Okay.
All right, Nandini.
So, yeah.
We have 10 minutes on this. All of you to put on your videos, even if you chose to go off video, so that I can just do a quick snap of you all while we continue our discussion. Okay.
Big smile.
Big smile, all of you.
Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then I have one more to go. Just
Keep those thumbs up.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thumbs up is competing with Pepsi and Coke.
So from that discussion, from that short discussion, what insight did you have from that would be useful to share in the collective group? What insight did you have that would be useful for everyone else to hear?
Are we unmuting or are we writing in the chat?
Oh, please unmute. If you put your hands up, please say something. It'd be nice to get a few more voices in.
So, and I'm Kashmira, and one of my observations, I've been doing this for 18 years, is that when you shift to a business mindset, there also needs to be a readiness to put in an investment, isn't it? I mean, there is a need, to be able to look like, to go from a solopreneur. It's also a conscious decision because you are either going to have to put back a portion of your revenue or find the money somewhere. Because, the website, the social proofing, all of that, I mean, it comes at a cost. And I think sometimes as a solopreneur, you get really reluctant to have a marketing budget or even a business budget. And, I mean, a client can see it when you have that set up. It doesn't come for free. That's my insight. And it took me a while to realize I have to spend money. I mean, like I have to allocate money for business growth. And that took a little bit of time for me.
Money makes money.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to charge big bucks, you need to look like you deserve, that you are fully professional. If you don't look the part and you want to charge $10,000, they're going to look at you and thinking, really?
Yeah.
But when you're looking really slick, then they're assuming that you're playing the big game and that you can then raise your prices because they are expecting that you have a higher running cost.
I think we have Bharti who's raised her hand. Bharti?
Yeah, hi, Anna. First of all, thank you very much for a fantastic slide on those 9 steps. One of the things that came out in our breakout session was the core issue that I was grappling with, being the solopreneur. My calendar, you're right, time is my currency, and I'm also a facilitator, so calendar is packed with meetings and sessions and everything. And to become a business owner, I'm aware that I have to launch products. And I am working on my signature program, but not having the time. So, and I know that I need at least 2 to 3 weeks of full focus in order to get that done. So for that, I have to break away from this. So really struggling there in terms of, balancing the two. How do you do it?
Yeah. You just have to knuckle down. Now, I'm going to give you all a tip, something do not do, because we made this mistake. We hired a freelancer to do our website. All right. And the problem that we had was they did it and then they wanted to charge us a lot of money for maintenance. Every little change they wanted us to pay. And so it might look cheap in the front end, but then they wanted to make the money at the back end. And so I learned the lesson. Learn how to do it yourself, or go to one of these website makers where they got really nice templates and control it yourself, because otherwise a little change and you got to go through somebody and it takes 3 days and it's going to cost you $50 each time you make one little change. So we made that mistake. And even though we owned the site, they put so much hidden code that when we got someone else to try and update it, they said, I can't unravel the code. They made it really difficult for anyone to take it over. So just sharing the lesson.
Yeah.
So that's why I became really good at tech, because I had to do my own website after learning the hard way. Janita.
Yeah. Thank you, Anna. It was such an engaging session. I felt that I was going through whatever you were saying. So it was just right time, and it was a wealth of knowledge. Thank you for honestly sharing your experience.
Pleasure.
At this point, the 2 specific learning for me is this structuring of and the packaging part, which I have started working on. So it was so reinforcing that you said, start working on those packages and productizing your services, because that's where the money is. The money is not about just taking 10 more sessions of coaching. So how do I do that? And the scale part, I'm trying a new model. So hopefully one day I can talk about it, but it has to be a scalable model in today's world. Not, hiring too many people, but how do you connect with like-minded people?
Yes.
who have different skills than you have.
Mm.
They can come together as partners and then run it. But the value
Mm.
system has to be, connected to everyone. So that's one learning.
Yeah, there's different ways of there's different ways of licensing your product. You can license it. You can have associates that deliver it. You can just sell it. So there are different ways once you've got the product. And even when you've got the product, you can then start doing really interesting things with the product, because you can say have a book, just a book, and it could be a low price entry. Then the book, you can then step it up to a workbook. So now it's a workbook. Then you step it up and then you make videos. Then that becomes a self-sustaining video course. And that's the next step up. And then the next step over that is you then have group mentoring to do the whole program. So once you've got a product, there's many ways to step up and down depending on people's availability of funding, of their own finance. So if they don't have the big dollars, then they can just buy the book. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. But
And
my
if they don't-
question to you
Mhm.
at this point is, when you're starting, what are the things which I should focus? My challenge is right now focusing like a funnel, that laser sharp focus on, if I'm focusing on materializing all this, I have till December, I have a timeline. January onwards, I want to launch. But again, am I ready? Those kind of questions keep coming. So how do we tackle that?
Okay, I'm going to give you a little secret. Not a secret, but just a tip. Minimum viable product. Minimum viable product. You don't need the whole program before you sell it. You just need the concept and the description, and then see if you can sell it. So don't spend 2, 3, 4 weeks or 6 months designing this amazing program and you think it's so good, and then nobody wants it. So you're going to do the minimum viable product. So I strongly suggest 9 steps, 3 phases, the magic of 3s. And you've got the top line, you've got the outcome, you've got the benefits, you've got a good idea. Sell it first. And when they've sold it, then design it on the go. But remember what I said, if it's your first time, do it at a lower price point. You say, this is my, my beta group. I'm going to do it at this special price. And in return, I want testimonials and reviews on the basis that it works.
Great. That's a useful tip. Thanks, Anna.
Got another one.
Yeah, we've got a couple of
Another
more
one.
hands go up.
One.
Yeah,
Another
yeah.
one. The other one is
questions from the registration form, which I thought was pertinent. So we'll just go with the hands that are raised.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I'll hold back on the other tip. I'll hold it back.
We have Shivani and then Andreas. So Shivani?
Yeah, Anna, you had another tip. I'd love to hear that before I pose the question.
Okay. When you understand people's objections, one of the biggest, all right, so remember this lovely phrase. Is it easy? Can I do it? Will it work? This is in the mindset of your client. Is it easy? Can I do it? Will it work? If you can answer these 3 questions, they'll give you their business. Now, is it easy? You got to present it that is so clear what they're going to get. And then the other one is, will it work? If you're really confident, offer them a money back guarantee. Now, the number of people that will actually want the money versus the number of people that will buy because you guaranteed it will outweigh. The number of closes you'll have because of your guarantee will way outweigh the number of people that will ever want back their money.
True. Thank you so much, Anna. So the question I had for you was regarding positioning. If someone, like, say, I want to serve 2 different audiences and they're drastically different, how does positioning work in that scenario? Or
tell me what you mean. Can you break it out a little bit more?
Say leadership and relationship coaching.
then you would have two different brands.
Okay. And they
Don't
have
have the
to
same brand. So we actually own 4 or 5 different brands. So we've got Coaching Go Where, and Coaching Go Where is for corporates. That's it. It's for corporates. Then we've got another brand which is for our private clients, and then we've got another brand for another type of client. So don't mix your brand, because you'll dilute the impact.
So how does one manage the personal brand in this scenario?
It's still quite distinct. So you might have 2 LinkedIn profiles. You'll definitely have 2 different websites.
Okay.
But actually, I would advise you that if you're starting off, stick with one, and do that really well first.
Okay.
And then when you've got that one really well, then consider the next one. Otherwise, you're diluting your time.
Right. Thank you. That makes sense.
Pleasure. Andreas.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have already lived as let's say as what you say, like a solopreneur, and then during pandemic I went back into corporate, because it was a safe haven, and now I'm going back again. So it's very just to share with you, it works. You can do it. Yes, the selling cycle is long, as you said. And what I think what many coaches might struggle with is sales. But I'm coming from sales. So actually part of what I want to sell and what I want to make a difference in is sales coaching. So sales is not, for me, not so much a problem. So what I was, and if there's someone who is like me, that can really give you a comparative advantage, because you bring other coaches on board. You close with a company, you bring others on board, and you take a higher margin of the business because it's your client. You brought them in. So that was something that worked really well for me. Just to share. Thank you very much. And by the way, excellent webinar. Thank you very much, Anna.
Pleasure. I mean,
Anna,
to your point,
close to the presentation so you can have all of them in one screen?
It's not my presentation. It's not me.
Oh, okay. I don't know who shared this then.
Sunita, it's your presentation. You just have to stop share. Or as host, you can stop the sharing anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying.
Yeah, just to your point, Andres, around sales, absolutely. With our business model, we actually give 5% for a lead, and if you close, we give 10%. And if you're the account manager, we give another 10%. And then the business keeps 30%. But you're right, absolutely. You do need to have the incentive for people to help you sell or refer the clients to you. Good point.
There was another question in the chat box, Anna, that's from Shripad. Instead of full refund, does easy exit options sound okay?
Well, what I say is this for our refunds. So this is what I say for my guarantees for my coaching clients. I guarantee that if you do everything we talk about in our coaching conversations, you will get the result. I will guarantee you'll get it if you take action. But you've got to take the action. I guarantee you will take the action. That's true, isn't it? Take the action. I will guarantee that if you took it, you'll get the result. And if you do it and you don't get the result, I will refund you. But you've got to take the action first. No one's asked for their money back, ever. But you've got to sound really, and it's quite interesting when I'm talking to some clients, they're saying, wow, you sound really good. You sound really committed and convinced. It's like, yes, because I know this works. I will guarantee you this works.
Yeah.
Thanks. We have Anu. Anu, you raised your hand. You want to come off mute? Yes, I did. Yeah. So, Anna, just a question. I think it's something that I've been grappling with now. I do one-on-one coaching with leaders, and I consider it a very personalized service. So, personalized service, one-on-one, and productize it. Something it just doesn't resonate with me. So, how do I productize a one-on-one personalized coaching with leaders, right? So, I'm not able to kind of wrap my head around that. So if you could kind of help me understand that a little better. How do I create a product out of the service?
So say you're looking at a coaching journey. So typically in a coaching journey, in a 9-step coaching journey or 3-step coaching journey, you start with the audit, the review. So that could be the life wheel, or that could be a 360, whatever. So the first phase is review. Second phase is refresh. The third phase is to rewire. That's what our 3 phases are. So you're showing a path and you're showing a process, even though the content is up to the client and the journey is up to the client. But you're showing that there is a map or there's a direction. And because the step 9 is the to be state. So the step 1 is you define the current state. The last point is the to be state. What does the journey look like? And in terms of the journey, you might say part of the journey is we'll explore your mindset. Another part of the journey is that we'll explore your beliefs and your limiting beliefs. Another part of the journey is understanding your autopilots, your habits. Another part of the journey could be understanding mindfulness. Another part of the journey is this. So you can actually still have elements of the journey where they bring in, because what you're promising them is there is enough of a structure. This is not just a chit chat. You're not paying me to talk to you because they're thinking, oh, this is just talk therapy, and talk therapy is cheap. I want my life to be transformed. Where's your magic? And so it's still a personalized journey, but often people are buying a guarantee and they want to see that you've got something that works that you can explain to them in a really clear way that they want. Now, it doesn't make what you do wrong. It's just whether or not you want to package it in a way that you can typically command a higher price point. And as I mentioned earlier, when you can do that, you can downsell and upsell because you can write a book about it, worksheets about it, blog about it, podcast about it, do videos about it. And then suddenly you become the woman that says the why, that's Simon, what's his name? The why man. That's it. It starts with a product.
Yeah.
That's it. And then suddenly you're famous for this one thing, or the growth mindset.
Yeah.
Just one concept. Suddenly you're really famous for the one concept.
I'm going to interject. May I invite everyone to just respond to the poll, those who have not done already? Thank you. We have about 4 minutes to the hour. I have 2 questions here, which I want to just take up very, very quickly. One is, as you scale up, how do you ensure consistency of the brand? That's one. And does your ownership dilute as you move from a solopreneur to a business owner?
In what way would it dilute? Because you're still in control of your business. It's only if you're giving away the business and you're getting funding. So you only start to dilute it if you're giving away ownership of your company. But if you remain the main shareholder or the chief exec, then it's still your company.
Fair.
But if you're getting funding and then you have to give away shares and that they have voting rights, then you're right, you're going to dilute your ownership and your control. But then if they're giving you $1 million for 30%, up to you.
Okay, and how do you ensure consistency that your brand represents?
A lot of it, well, it depends on what you mean. If it's about, the associates that you work with, the team you bring in, then that's part of the training and part of ensuring that you're bringing in the right people.
Yeah, I think training, and I think just making sure that the brand is understood, including all of it, the colors, or, how do you represent the brand when you are talking to the client.
Yeah.
Even if you have a client management team, how are they positioning the brand is very important. So I think like any other company, how do you, all right. Nothing else from the registration page, the questions that were there, because most of them have been answered here. These were the two ones I thought were not addressed, so I just brought them up.
I have one.
Yep.
So there's a question in the chat box from Sandeep, which is to the point of telling the client that I guarantee you, that if you follow through on the actions and so on. So the question is that a coach guaranteeing something may not fully align well with ICF protocols and ethics and so on. So it may be a successful forced selling. So is this a point that you could clarify or comment on, Anna?
Well, what is there to say? It's a case of the client wants to know, will it work? Are you going to say, I hope it works? They're not going to buy from you. So just in terms of the business world, then, as I said, is it easy? Can I do it? Will it work? So you're not lying. It is. I really believe it will work. I know it works. All my clients have had success. They all say it works. So I'm not, so you're not selling something that you're unsure of. As long as you feel in your heart and you have integrity. And if they say it doesn't work, they want their money back. You got to give back the money.
Thanks. Arvind, you want to say something?
Yeah. So Anna, just to support what you're saying, suggesting the client what to do is against the ethics. Being with the client and helping him get to a solution is what we are supposed to do. And the client following up and doing what he's agreed.
Yeah, what they say, action. If they take action.
It's action. Yeah. So what the hell? I mean, you have to do what you say. You can't just make an IDP, a development plan, and say, okay, man, I made a development plan, but it's not worked. It will never work if you don't action it. If you don't action it. So we will not suggest, but we will be with you.
Yeah.
As
coaches, if you take the action, then it'll work, but you got to take action.
Yeah. I also want to compliment you on putting across the McDonald's model of creating a bun and getting your scent everywhere it is consumed. Yes. That was great. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
I mean, you can give a parallel of, if you don't take the pill, your pain is not going to go away. Like a doctor say, doctor is going to ask, did you take the pill? And if you say no, then okay, go take the pill and come back.
And if you're not ready, that's okay. Yeah. Come back when you're ready.
True that. All right. I think we are past the 1.5 hours that we committed for the masterclass. Thank you so much, Anna, for sharing your wisdom and some of the tips and tricks of your business, your success as a business coaching business owner. I'm sure our participants have some deep insights. At least I did, and I'm going to work on those and look forward to more sessions like this. And perhaps people can reach out to you, connect to you on LinkedIn and other platforms. Thank you all of you for being here and for your participation, for such an engaging session. I really appreciate your time today evening. Thank you so much.
Yeah, if you want to find me on LinkedIn, just look Anna Tan Coach.
Yeah.
And then you'll find me. So I'll be more than pleased. If you've got any more questions, just ping me on LinkedIn.
And I shall be sending out the presentation by mail to all of you who attended. So you can find her credentials there too.
Fantastic. Right. Everybody, good luck with your business.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.